Hi there, this is Adrienne Green, Realtor, and today we're going to talk about what it's like living on well water, what you need to know and what considerations you need to take when you are living on well water instead of city water. I have lived on well water for 7 years in my current house right now, so I can speak to this from personal experience, and I have also helped people buy and sell houses that are on well water. If you are looking to buy or sell a house that's on a well, please check out the video I posted a couple of days ago that specifically goes into the considerations with a sales contract for a house of that well and the inspections that we would do. And if you're buying a house here in Northern Virginia, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as I post a lot both about real estate and about life here in Northern Virginia. Now let's get back to what it's like living on well water. So the major concept I want you to keep in your mind is that you are your own water treatment system. The water is coming up from the ground through pipes into your house, and if you want any treatment done on that water before it comes out of the spigot into your sink, you need to be doing that treatment. The most common treatment that we see on well systems is a sediment filter. And so if you look up well water sediment filter, you'll get an idea. And it is typically a round filter that you change out every month to every few months. And it has a little container where all the water that comes in the house flows through this filter, and it catches sediment that might be in the filter. So it's pretty interesting, and it's very effective here in my house. My husband changes it out roughly every month, and it starts out white as snow, and at the end of that month it is dirty when he changes it. So we know it's doing its job, and it's keeping all that gunk out of our pipes and out of the water that we drink. Another less common but still relatively prevalent system that we see to treat water on wells is a UV system. And that is a UV light system where that light shines on the water as it comes in the house, and it kills any bacteria that would be in that water. There's always a risk of bacteria getting into well water, and in fact, the powers that be, the authorities, I know like Penn State as a big agricultural school has a lot of information out there about testing your water for bacteria. And generally, it is recommended that you test your well water for bacteria annually. And because bacteria is such a big issue, we often see these UV filter systems on well water because it is killing any bacteria that may be in the water before that water comes into your house and you use it. Now, if you have a UV system, I would note you always want to make sure it's up and running and that you have backup bulbs for it on hand, because let's say that water has bacteria. Let's say your UV system breaks and you can't fix it immediately. Well, that bacteria water comes past the UV system, and that bacteria water is now in the pipes in your house. That means the pipes in your house now have the bacteria in them, and that means you have to do what we call a bleaching or shocking your entire house's piping system to get that bacteria killed and start back at zero clean again. So it's a big job. You don't want to have to do it. And so I recommend always having a backup input available for that UV system so that if it breaks, you can swap out the bulbs right away and never have water coming through into the house untreated from the UV system. All right, so that's a UV system that can address bacteria issues. There are various other water treatment systems, and another one that's common in Northern Virginia is an acid neutralizer. And this is a big tank that you put calcite in, and that neutralizes if your water is coming in acidic. The reason you would want to do that is if you have copper pipes, acidic water will wear away at those copper pipes over time, and eventually you could get little pinhole leaks in your pipes. This would be especially painful if it happens in pipes that are behind walls, because then we're talking about drywall work, all kinds of damage that could happen from a pinhole leak behind a wall. So if your water is tested and it is acidic, then you should look at getting an acid neutralizer system put in that will neutralize that acidity of the water as it comes in the houses and preserve your copper pipes in the house. There are other systems people will get put in, like water softeners or things like that, that are a little less common, but just be aware that if you're looking at a house with well water or you own a house with well water, there might be other systems that you would want if for whatever reason you're unhappy with your water. But living on well water, just keep in mind you are your own water treatment system. Nearly every house with well water has that sediment filter. You might also want to look at a UV filter for bacteria and an acid neutralizer system if you have copper pipes in your house and you have acidic water, which is something you can test for. You can even order a test on Amazon and test it yourself to see the acidity of your water. So that's what I have to share today about living on well water and having some systems in place to be your own water treatment system. If you have any other questions about living in well water, please go ahead and post it in the comments below. And I think I might even be doing a second video about well water, because as I'm doing this, I'm thinking of more things I should share. And so please make sure to subscribe to the channel to find out more about well water and about houses and living in Northern Virginia. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.